Top 10 Essay Topics About Renaissance. William Shakespeare and the Renaissance. William Shakespeare is one of the greatest playwrights of all time. So, we suggest researching Shakespeare's plays' themes and literary elements that reflect Renaissance ideals. You may present biographical information about the writer and the historical context of the Renaissance. How did Shakespeare's contribution to literature and drama impact the Renaissance and subsequent periods? How the Reformation learned from the Renaissance. This essay explores the intellectual and cultural exchange between the Renaissance and the Reformation. Thus, you might include a comparison of the fundamental ideas and figures of these directions. What were the specific interactions between Renaissance intellectuals and Reformation leaders? Moreover, reveal the impact of humanism and the printing press on disseminating Reformation ideas. Langston Hughes and the Harlem Renaissance. Dive into the life and work of Langston Hughes, a prominent figure of the Harlem Renaissance. How did the Harlem Renaissance create a platform for African American writers and artists to assert their cultural identity? Try to spotlight the themes and artistic expressions of Hughes' poetry and writings during this cultural movement. Likewise, provide the writer's biographical information and historical background. The Renaissance and its cultural, political, and economic influence. This paper comprehensively examines the multifaceted impact of the Renaissance on culture, politics, and the economy. Hence, you can present a historical overview of that period and its key achievements in art, literature, and also architecture. Try to identify traces of the Renaissance's influence on modern cultural expressions or economic practices. Finally, analyze the economic transformations and the rise of trade. A time travel to the Renaissance epoch, behind the velvet curtain. This topic creatively takes the reader on a fictional journey back to the Renaissance era, providing a vivid and immersive experience of the period's art and culture. What would it be like to interact with the great minds of the Renaissance, like Michelangelo? Create an imaginative narrative that transports the reader to the Renaissance era. We recommend describing the cultural ambience, major historical events, and interactions with notable figures. Angelina Grimke's contribution to the Harlem Renaissance. Here, we offer to study the lesser-known but significant role of Angelina Grimke in the Harlem Renaissance. Focus on her literary and social contributions. Likewise, you may discuss her influence on African American literature and activism. So, try to spotlight her involvement in civil rights activism and her impact on the empowerment of African American women. What lessons can contemporary society learn from her legacy? Design continuities between the Renaissance and the 17th and 18th centuries. You should discuss how artistic traditions evolved and continued across these eras. Thus, try to analyze the influences of religious and cultural changes on creative expression. How did political and cultural shifts influence the representation of religion and human emotions in art during the 17th and 18th centuries? Highlight the influences of religious or cultural changes on artistic expression. Moreover, write about specific design elements and techniques from the Renaissance period. Renaissance paintings by Jan van Eyck and Filippo Lippi. Another exciting idea is to compare and contrast the artistic styles and themes in the paintings of Jan van Eyck and Filippo Lippi, two renowned Renaissance painters. We recommend analyzing their approaches to portraying religious scenes, human figures, and natural elements. Can we still find echoes of their styles and themes in contemporary art? Religious symbolism in Renaissance paintings. In this paper, we propose to reveal the prevalent use of religious symbolism in Renaissance paintings. So, you might include examples of religious paintings from prominent artists. Research the symbolic meanings of common religious motifs such as halos, colors, and gestures. In addition, analyze how artists conveyed biblical narratives and theological concepts through their compositions. Italian Renaissance gardens and their significance. Write about the beauty and cultural significance of Italian Renaissance gardens. Discussing the design principles, symbolism, and contributions of these gardens to art is an amazing idea. You can reveal the specialties of symmetry, symbolism, and natural elements. How did Italian Renaissance gardens reflect the humanistic ideals and aesthetics of the Renaissance period?